Hey, okay. Hey, you guys. Oh, hold up. Let me make sure I'm live up top too. All right. Getting it going live now. God is good. I'm so happy to be here. All right. So I'm ecstatic to be going live for the first time on TikTok and YouTube at the same time. So I'm just going to just jump right in. All right. So home ownership is more affordable than it's ever been. Of course, in the past, interest rates have been historically high. Back in the 80s, we probably had 14, 15% interest rates. Right now, interest rates are like 7%. And that's historically low. So it's still a great time to buy. But anyway, more importantly, I wanted to just jump right in. I recently bought a house a few years back, my first home, and I'm here at home right now. But it was so affordable when I purchased my house. Before I purchased my home, before I was a realtor, I was working as a customer service rep, and I was only earning $15 an hour. But I was able to buy a house though. $15 an hour, bought my first home, and I purchased it with like little to no money. So it's not hard to pre-qualify for a house, which I thought it was. At the time, I had a 580 credit score when I first completed my application, but I work with a great lender. So when I completed the application originally, I got denied, but the lender worked with me to increase my credit score 20 points. All I had to do is open up a credit card, a secured credit card. It reported to the credit bureau within 30 days. I was able to get pre-qualified after I went on and improved my credit score. So it was a really quick turnaround time for me to get the credit. I already had the job, and I didn't have any money saved, being transparent. I had no money saved. I had no financial education whatsoever. I literally was just jumping in blindly, right? But I got pre-qualified at the time. I also was eligible to receive grants. So there was this program going around, the LIFT program, that was through Wells Fargo Bank. They had did some predatory lending in the past, similar to what you guys heard about Navy Federal Credit Union, and how they've denied a lot of Black households. So Wells Fargo did some predatory lending in the past, and they were trying to make up for their mistakes, and they drilled $3 million into all of the major cities around the country. One of the cities happened to be Baltimore, Maryland, where I live. And so they gave away $3 million in each city. So 300 recipients received $15,000 to buy a house. So I got $15,000 to buy my first house, which is part of the reason why I was able to buy a house with little to no money down. And a lot of banks right now currently have similar programs available. So like I mentioned, at that time, Wells Fargo had $15,000. I literally just got off a call with Wells Fargo just yesterday. How about they have a new program for home buyers where they have $10,000 available? And I think it's a 620 credit score requirement. So if you're at a 600, you're close enough for you to go ahead, get with the lender, find out what you got to do quickly to increase your score, those 20 points, so you can go ahead and pre-qualify for that house, baby. Okay. Now, one other thing that I did at that time, like I mentioned, I was working as a customer service rep. I probably made about $15 an hour. Like I said, I think annually I probably was like $35,000 a year. I think I had like some overtime I was doing as well with that job. So it came to about $35,000 a year. And this wasn't that long ago. This was back in 2019, like right at the pandemic. So on top of me getting that $15,000 from Wells Fargo, I had tapped into the city. The cities have hell of money. The federal government drills millions of dollars into all of your cities every year for home buyers to buy houses. So long and behold, my city also had a grant for $10,000 for me to buy a house. So I was able to stack those grants. I got $15,000 plus the $10,000 from my city, $25,000 to buy my house. So that was my down payment and my closing costs. Now, as far as my out-of-pocket expenses, when you buy a house, of course, you got to pay a down payment. They want you to have closing costs, and then you have some other small fees, like you got to get the house inspected, you got to get the house appraised, and they want you to put like a small deposit down with the title company when you buy a house. So for the inspections, both inspections and that little small deposit, that came to about, I want to say it was like $2,500 for all of those items, those expenses that occurred once I was under contract. So I had $1,500 there, right? You guys, when I went to closing, I had so much down payment assistance that they end up giving me a refund. I didn't even need to bring any additional money to closing. All I put out was the money for my home inspection, my appraisal, and my earnest money deposit. The earnest money deposit is kind of like a security deposit, and it's held by the title company, but they apply that amount to your total balance. So it's usually like 1 to 2% of the total purchase price. So for my case, I think it was like $500. Y'all, I'm trying to tell you, it was so easy. And like I mentioned, I didn't have the best credit scores. I had to increase my credit score to qualify. Now, long and behold, at that time, I had poor credit. I was considered a borrower with poor credit. So I had to get the higher interest rate. So at that time, and still currently today, my interest rate is 4%. So when other people, in 2019 were like, oh no, I could never do 4%. I need that 2.5. I need that 3%. And they skipped over on the opportunity for home ownership, hoping that interest rates would go down when they were already historically low. And now we're in the same kind of market now where people are like, oh no, I can't do the 7 and 8%. I need interest rates to go down. Well, you can go ahead and wait for that, because when interest rates go back to 10 and 11, keep in mind, we're still historically low. Back in the 80s and the 70s, interest rates were 10 plus. Okay. So we're still historically low. So while you're waiting for the interest rates to go down, you could be literally missing out on your opportunity to buy a house. All of the banks have money available for you to buy a house. I mentioned Wells Fargo has $10,000. You only need a 620 credit score. Navy Federal Credit Union. You guys heard about Navy Federal Credit Union just recently, and how word on the street is that they're denying African-American or Black and brown households at a higher rate than other applicants. Well, sorry to tell you guys, but that's with all the banks. All the banks do that, unfortunately. And if you guys know the history of America, you guys know this is a systemically, we have some systemically racist ways, unfortunately. And although a lot of changes have been made as far as lending and equality, we still have the effects of the predatory lending and, the redlining and the greenlining and things like that, right? So Navy Federal Credit Union is not the only one, but they're trying to make up for it. They have a new loan product that's better than all the banks right now. They have 100% financing. 100% financing. The only way you can get 100% financing is if you go buy a farm, or if you're a veteran. VA loans are a 100% financing, meaning you don't have to pay a down payment at all. So holla at Navy Federal Credit Union. I believe their credit score requirement, I want to say, was 620 as well. So you don't need 700 credit scores. You don't need 800 credit scores. You don't need $30,000 to buy a house. As I mentioned, I got $25,000 to purchase my home. So between Wells Fargo and the city level grants that were available, I was able to jump right into home ownership. And the best part about buying a house was the equity that I now had. So if I were to sell my home today, I could potentially walk away with $100,000 from the equity that I have in my house now I could walk away with. So when people talk about buying a house and they feel like, they want to wait until maybe they get a promotion, or they want to wait until they're married and things like that. Well, I didn't wait. I went on and took a leap of faith. I invested in my future. I'm up $100K. I could potentially go ahead and sell this home and go purchase a larger property with my spouse, or I could keep it as a rental property and take the equity out from this house and go purchase another investment property, or purchase another home for myself, or purchase some land for my family. It just leaves so many opportunities for us by purchasing homes. And it's not my forever home. It's my starter home. It's a row home. It wasn't a single family house. It's in the city. It's a 2-bedroom. It does have, I do have a fully finished basement. I have 1 bath on the second floor, and a half bath in the basement. It's a beautiful house. I love it here. I love the neighborhood. I love the community. They have some strong community associations in the neighborhood. So it's a great place to be. It's a great opportunity for me, single young woman, and it's going to create opportunities that I can utilize later on. I can use this as leverage to create other opportunities for myself, to build wealth for my children and for my family. So that's just want to put you guys down. Long story short, like I said, I bought a house. I didn't have the 800 credit scores. Like I said, I barely had a 580. And you only need a 580 to qualify for an FHA loan, but I barely had that. But I had a good lender that was able to get my credit up within 30 days, where I was able to qualify right away. I got the $15,000 from the bank, from Wells Fargo, and I got the $10,000 from my city. Now, if you want to get grants at city level, there are HUD agencies, the HUD approved housing agencies. They're all over the city. Again, federal government has these organizations available. They offer home buyer education. They offer counseling. They also offer grants. And so if you can locate the HUD approved housing agency in your city and connect with them and find out what incentives are available for home buyers, there is money there. And a lot of people have questions about the grants, like as far as the income limits. A lot of the banks have higher income limits for these grants now, believe it or not. So like, I want to say Wells Fargo and even Bank of America, they have some of the higher income limits that I've seen. They're up to like 170K, 160, 170K for a combined household. So it's pretty much majority anybody, could benefit from these grants. But it's a great time to buy a house. It's more affordable than it's ever been. There are more resources available than we've ever had, and take advantage of it. Jump right in. Don't wait. Get the information. Go get with a professional, and get the process started. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me. Like, share, comment, subscribe. Bye. Oh, so you guys, look. So I'm working on building the YouTube and the TikTok stuff, but I had just So anyway, I just went live, and I wanted to share how I purchased a house with little to no money, and how you guys can do the same as well. So nowadays they have all these grants that are available for home buyers. And the best part, the grants are not just for first-time buyers. They're for first-time buyers, second-time buyers. So pretty much anybody can be eligible to take advantage of these grants. And I actually have a list. I just created a list of all of the banks and the grants that they offer and the credit score requirements. So I'm going to share that soon. But go ahead and go get your houses. And if you're not ready, share the information with someone else that could potentially benefit from this information. But homeownership is for you. It's for your family. It can change your family. It'll help you build legacy for your family. Ownership is so important for Americans, whether you own a business or you own your own home, when your own identity. It's imperative that we have ownership for ourselves, for our family, for ourselves and for our families. Love God, honor family, buy real estate. All right, y'all. So this is my first live. I think I did good. I'm gonna log off for now. I don't even know how to get out of here, Lord. Yay, we did that. What a year this has been. I just want to say very grateful. Every year we do the same thing. We do the same. All righty. I just did my TikTok. I was just sorry, you guys. I didn't even know I was still streaming. But I just did my I was looking at my TikTok. I just went live on my TikTok shop. Mind you, I don't have enough followers to go live on my own page, but on my TikTok shop, they allow you to go live right away. So I went live and actually got some followers. I got 3 followers. So thank you, Lord. I'm excited for the impact, and I get to share the goodness of the Lord, everything He's shown me. I get to share it with the rest of the world. Love God, honor family, buy real estate.